When the ship finally slipped beneath the surface, most believed the worst was over. They were wrong. Because surviving the sinking is not the same thing as surviving the ocean. Out there, miles from land, the rules change immediately. The ocean does not panic. It does not rush. It simply begins removing people, one by one. Not randomly. Not violently. But predictably. And those who understand that pattern are the ones who sometimes make it home. The false victory in the moments after a ship goes down, something unexpected often spreads through survivors' relief. The explosion didn't kill them. The hull didn't trap them. They made it into the water. Some even laugh. Others cry. Many believe they have already beaten death. But the ocean is patient. What most survivors don't realize is that the sinking itself is rarely the primary killer. It is only the introduction. The real test begins in the minutes that follow. Adrenaline floods the body, masking pain, masking cold, masking injury. People tread water longer than they should. They shout. They search the dark for familiar faces. But adrenaline is alone, and the ocean always collects its debts. The first thing the ocean steals, people assume drowning is the greatest threat. It isn't. The first thing the ocean steals is your ability to think. Cold water begins attacking the body immediately. Even temperatures that feel survivable can start degrading mental clarity within minutes. Hands lose strength. Fingers stop responding. Simple tasks become confusing. Survivors often remove life jackets without understanding why. They swim in the wrong direction. They waste energy. And the terrifying part? Many don't realize it's happening. Because confusion does not announce itself. It feels like logic while it is unfolding. This is why trained sailors repeat one rule above all others: do less. Stay still. Conserve heat. Panic burns warmth. Stillness preserves it. The ocean favors those who understand this, and eliminates those who don't. Leadership collapse whenever groups form in open water. Something deeply human emerges almost immediately. People begin searching for a leader. Someone to answer the question no one wants to ask. What do we do now? Strong leadership can dramatically extend survival time. But when leadership cracks, the timeline shortens fast. Arguments begin. Someone insists they see land. Another swears they hear engines. A third demands everyone start swimming. Hope turns from a shared resource into a contested one. And once a group loses unity, the ocean gains momentum. Because individuals alone in open water rarely last as long as those who remain connected, physically and psychologically. Isolation is more than distance. It is a survival multiplier. Nightfall, the psychological cliff. If the sinking happens near evening, survivors face a challenge far greater than darkness. Night in the open ocean distorts reality. The horizon disappears. Depth perception collapses. Waves sound larger than they are. Every splash feels intentional. Many survivors later report the same realization: daylight fights panic. Darkness feeds it. But there is another pattern survival experts quietly acknowledge: the second night is often worse than the first. By then, adrenaline is gone. Energy is depleted. And hope begins negotiating with reason. Most rescues occur after the third day. But many minds never survive night 2. Because somewhere between exhaustion and exposure, a dangerous thought begins forming. This might not end. Once that idea settles in, the battle becomes psychological, not physical. And psychology is where the ocean does some of its most efficient work. When the ocean starts choosing, the ocean is not alive. It does not hunt. It does not judge. But it does create conditions that quietly establish an order. And that order often determines who disappears first. Typically, the injured go early. Energy drains faster when the body is compromised. Then the isolated. Distance removes warmth, morale, and shared awareness. Next come the dehydrated. Saltwater accelerates decline in ways many underestimate. But perhaps most vulnerable of all, are the mentally defeated. Because long before the body fails, the mind can surrender. Survivors who lived through prolonged drift often describe a moment when someone simply stopped fighting. They loosened their grip, closed their eyes longer than before, spoke less. The ocean rarely takes the strongest first. It takes the ones who stop resisting. The strange effect of time behaves differently at sea. Minutes feel stretched. Hours blur. Without landmarks, the brain struggles to measure reality. Some survivors report hallucinations, voices, ships, lights that vanish upon focus. Others describe overwhelming calm washing over them. A dangerous calm. Not relief, but detachment. It is the mind's quiet way of shielding itself from sustained fear. Yet that same calm can slow reaction times, reduce movement, and weaken the will to signal rescuers. Survival is not always about strength. Often, it is about maintaining intention. Small actions. Repeated. Refusing to drift mentally, even while drifting physically. The ones who live. When researchers study maritime survival, certain patterns appear again and again among those who return. They protect heat relentlessly. They avoid unnecessary movement. They stay task-focused, even inventing tasks when none exist. Counting breaths. Scanning horizons. Checking on others. Structure keeps the brain engaged. And an engaged brain resists surrender. Many survivors also describe making a silent decision. I am not dying out here, not dramatic. Not shouted. Just decided. Because survival frequently begins as a private commitment long before rescue ever arrives. Hope, contrary to popular belief, is not always loud. Often it is disciplined, controlled, stubborn. The final truth: the ocean is not cruel. It is not angry. It is simply indifferent. And indifference is what makes it so lethal. Storms pass without apology. Temperatures fall without warning. Distances remain unchanged no matter how desperately someone swims. Out there, nature does not negotiate. It only continues. And long before a rescue ship breaks the horizon, the ocean has usually already decided something. Who it will return. And who it will keep. If you want to understand the moment survival statistics collapse, watch The Second Night at Sea. Why most survivors never make it home. Because surviving the sinking was only the beginning.